Today, we're diving into something pretty amazing, that deep, sometimes totally unexplainable connection you feel with someone. Let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? You grab your phone, you're literally about to text someone, and then, bing, a message from that exact person pops up. It feels a little like magic, doesn't it? Like some kind of cosmic coincidence.
Well, what if I told you it's not magic, it's actually something way more fascinating? It's a kind of psychological code, a series of signs that show when two people are genuinely, deeply thinking about each other. And today, we're going to crack that code.
We're going to break down 5 key signs that this is happening and look at the real psychological reasons that create that almost psychic feeling between two people.
All right, let's kick things off with sign number 1.
This is that classic moment we were just talking about, what we'll call the random contact synchronicity. You both reach out at the exact same time. It feels totally out of the blue, but trust me, there's a lot more happening just beneath the surface.
So, the science behind this is a really cool concept called shared rhythms. When you're that connected to someone, your brains actually start to get in sync. You subconsciously learn each other's daily patterns and habits so well that you start to anticipate without even realizing it when they're most likely to reach out. So, it's less about mind reading and more about being deeply psychologically in tune.
Okay, let's move on to the second sign. This one is all about emotion.
Just picture this for a second. You're going about your day, washing the dishes, sitting at your desk. Everything is totally 100% normal.
And then, bam, out of absolutely nowhere, you feel this sudden rush of warmth, or maybe a happy little flutter in your chest. It's an emotion that has zero connection to what you're actually doing in that moment.
Psychologists call this an emotional echo. Because your bond is so strong, your brain is kind of conditioned to their emotional frequency. So when they're thinking about you with a really intense feeling, your brain can actually pick up on that and trigger a sympathetic response. You're basically feeling an echo of their emotion. Wild, right? All right, sign number 3, this is where we get into the really deep stuff, the subconscious. This one is just fascinating. Shared dreamscapes. You have a super vivid dream about them, and then the next day, they say something like, "You won't believe the dream I had about you last night." Or maybe you both dreamed about the same place or the same idea. How on earth does that happen?
Well, this happens because of something called the subconscious anchor. When two people are ruminating on each other, which is just a fancy psychological term for thinking deeply and often about someone, that person becomes an anchor in both of your subconscious minds. So when you go to sleep, your brains are both pulling from the same source material, which can lead to some seriously similar dream themes.
Now for number 4. This one is all about focus and how a powerful connection can just completely shatter it in an instant. It's called the mental hiccup. You are completely absorbed in something important, like a big meeting at work or you're studying for an exam, when suddenly their face just flashes into your mind. It's so vivid, it just completely knocks you off your train of thought.
It's almost like a battle is happening in your mind. On one side, you have your logical, conscious brain trying to focus on the task at hand. But on the other, this powerful, intrusive thought of this person just breaks right through your mental firewall. It feels less like you got distracted and more like you were interrupted by an outside force.
And the reason for this is limbic resonance. Okay, so your limbic system, that's the emotional headquarters of your brain. In a really deep connection, these emotional centers can become so tethered, so in tune, that the sheer intensity of their mental and emotional energy focused on you can literally break through your conscious thoughts. It's just a huge testament to the power of that bond. And that brings us to our 5th and final sign. And honestly, this one might be the strangest one of all. It's a physical sense of their presence, even when you are completely and totally alone. You might suddenly feel a warmth on your arm like they just touched you, or maybe you get a faint whiff of their signature cologne out of thin air. It can be a little jarring.
This is your brain's sensory memory kicking into overdrive. When you're intensely focused on someone, your brain is so powerful it can actually start to fill in the gaps by recreating physical sensations based on your deep memories of them. It's an incredible example of just how connected our minds and our bodies really are. So when you put all these signs together, the shared rhythms, the emotional echoes, these mental hiccups, what do you really have? Well, you have a kind of bridge between minds, one that can make physical distance feel almost completely irrelevant.
I absolutely love this quote. Distance is just a test to see how far love can travel, but the mind is the bridge that keeps you together. It just captures it perfectly, doesn't it? These psychological phenomena we talked about, they're the building blocks of that bridge.
And this is a universal feeling. There's this beautiful idea from Hindi that translates to, when two souls think of each other, the universe shrinks until the distance between them is gone. It's just such a poetic way of describing that feeling of closeness, that sense that the world itself rearranges to accommodate this powerful connection. In the end, these signs aren't just random little quirks. They're the language of a deep, mutual connection, all written in a psychological code. So I guess I'll just leave you with one final thought. Who are you connected to?